Certain forms of synthetic drugs are illegal, but manufacturers keep getting around those laws. Right here in mid-Missouri, our reporter found some stores are selling what are essentially new versions of the same old drugs.
Target 8 investigator Jessica MENSCH went into the shops to see for herself and is at the state capitol to explain how manufacturers try to stay one step ahead.
Missouri lawmakers passed a bill in 2011 banning the sale of synthetic drugs, but manufacturers have found a way around these laws. After following a viewer tip, I found mid-Missouri shops selling packets like this one. Experts told me it's just a new version of spice. Same drug, same danger. Elevated heart rate and blood pressure, agitation, paranoia, seizures, vivid hallucinations, and even death. All from a substance that mid-Missourians can legally buy. It's marketed and sold as potpourri or incense, but people are not using it to make their room smell nice.
They're not saying that you're really ingesting this or smoking this or injecting this or eating this. They're saying it's okay. We're not telling you to do that. But you know, in the store where you could buy this, there's a wink and a nod, and come over here and I'll tell you how you really use it.
I decided to go into a local shop in Fulton and see for myself. When I asked the cashier for the new legal version of spice, he told me I needed to be careful how I phrase things, but then proceeded to point me to a product called Bizarro. The cashier refused an interview. I also went to a shop in Avaz and found similar incense or potpourri for sale. The packages sold in stores all say not for human consumption, but critics don't buy that. Some pointed out to me, why would you pay $20 for this small package of potpourri when you can get all of this for the same price? Congress tried to ban synthetic drugs in 2012 by banning chemicals found in the drugs, but manufacturers found new legal compounds that produce the same high. State Representative SHAWN, a former drug investigator, tried to pass new state legislation earlier this year to outlaw more chemicals, but it never reached the governor.
Now we can ban 4 chemicals, and China's waiting with 4 other chemicals to replace it.
St. Louis University Director of Toxicology Anthony Scalzo has studied the effects of synthetic drugs for years. He was the first person to report the trend of these drugs to the Centers for Disease Control and the Drug Enforcement Administration.
Problem is, these chemists are staying one step ahead of the DEA, one step ahead of our laws, and where there is an economic benefit to them, they have resources beyond our comprehension.
Scalzo says manufacturers have plenty of incentives to find ways around the laws.
The amount of money spent in this country on these synthetic drugs and the amount of money made is what's driving this. What's driving me is to educate the public about the dangers of this substance and substances like it.
He says he found one shop in Missouri making nearly $7,000 a week just selling spice. And police say there's nothing they can do to stop it.
The legal and the illegal packets, there's no difference in the effects to the body. It's just the fact that some of them aren't on the list to be illegal.
As long as laws don't cover new alternative chemicals, these drugs can be sold legally in our communities.
But I'll tell you right now, it scares me.
Representative SHAWN says he's working on legislation for the coming session that will wipe out the sale of synthetic drugs for good.